Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to discuss about business rule. We are going to see what activities we can perform with the help of business rule. After that, we are going to discuss the form of business rule. In this, we are going to see how we can access the business rule form. And in the business rule form, we are going to discuss what are the type of business rule, when a particular business rule runs, what are the database operations business rule can perform, and we are going to discuss about the functions of business rule. We will be discussing about the current and previous variables that are present in the script fields of the business rule. Okay, so let's begin with what is business rule. A business rule is one of the area in which we can write the server-side scripting. What is server-side scripting? Server-side scripting means when we have to perform some database operations, we use the server-side scripting. So business rule is one of the area where we can write the server-side script. It runs when a record is displayed, inserted, updated, or deleted. It also runs when a table is being queried. Okay, so under these conditions, we can run a particular business rule. Displaying, inserted, updated, deleted, and the table is being queried. We can also say it as a CRUD. We are performing the CRUD operations like create, read, update, delete operations on the database of a table. Okay, so this is what a business rule means. Now let's see with the help of business rule what activities we can perform. Like we can automatically change the values in the form fields. We can create the events to trigger the notifications. We can provide messages to the users. Okay, the record is being saved, the record is being deleted. Okay, we can update the related records. Like a problem is associated with multiple incidents. So if something happens on the problem record, then all the related incidents record have to be updated. So we can do with the help of business rule. Okay, so these are some of the various activities we can perform with the help of business rule. There are multiple activities we can perform with the help of business rule. We are going to see all these things with the help of practical examples in the upcoming videos. But for now, let's discuss the form of business rule and how we can access the business rules in ServiceNow. For opening the business rules records or the table database of business rules, what we have to do is that click on all navigation menu and in the filter navigator type business rules. So we have to type business rules. Okay, and here you will see under system definition application business rules module. Once we click on it, you will see the list of records of business rule that are applied to tables that are present in ServiceNow. So we can see the list of business rules that are presented and it is applicable on different tables that are available in ServiceNow. Okay, so that's how you can access a business rule in ServiceNow. And if you click on new button, it will open up a form of business rule. So this is the form of business rule and it is saying new record, and we will be discussing about the different fields that are available on business rule form and what we have to keep in mind while we are creating a business rule. Now there is another way that we can access the business rule property is by using the filter navigator shortcuts. So as you can see, this is the table under which the business rules are stored. It is called sys_script. So what we can do is that we can click on all navigation menu, and with the help of filter navigator shortcuts, we are going to open a form of business rule and open the list of records of business rule. So we have to type sys_script.list. It's going to open the business rule list in new tab. So you can see that we are presented with the business rules records. Okay, and if we have to open the form of a business rule, all you have to do is that click on all navigation menu and in the filter navigator type sys_script.form in capital letters. It's going to open the form in new window, and we can see business rule new record form is being presented to us. So that's how you can access the form and the list of records of business rule in ServiceNow. Okay, so this particular functionality is called filter navigator shortcuts. Okay, now let's discuss about the form of business rule. Now we are going to discuss business rule forms field. So as you can see on the screen, we have a form of business rule that is opened and it contains different fields. So the name field, you have to give a business rule a name that can be understood by other developers also or any other users also. So if you're working in a team, so the name must be meaningful so that it represents what this particular business rule will do. Okay, then the table, it will be a choice list, and in this you will select a particular table for which the business rule must be running. Okay, As you can see on the screen, we have a reference field here, and we can search our table for which the business rule has to be run. Okay, and here you will see the application. It is a read-only field. Now it says global application, because we are in a global scope, and if it is a scoped application, then you will see the scoped application name here. And if you want to make a business rule inactive, just uncheck this active checkbox. The business rule will be inactive. There is no need to delete a particular business rule. You can make it inactive. Okay, and there is an advanced checkbox. We are going to talk about it very soon. And here you see we have two sections right now: when to run and actions. So when a particular business rule must run, it tells about this particular section. Okay, it says insert and update. So these are the operations that we are performing on the database of a table or records of a table, you can say. Okay, insert means when we are inserting a record in a table. Update means when we are updating a record in a table. And these are the checkboxes, as you can see. So we can select both of these checkboxes when we want to run, whenever we are inserting a record and whenever we are updating a record in a particular table. Okay, and based on the filter conditions, we can provide the conditions under which filter conditions this particular business rule will run. Okay, and these filter conditions will have the columns that are related to the table. So whatever the table you have selected here, all the columns that are present in the table will be populating here. Okay, and you can also provide role conditions also. So these are the user based roles. So a particular user is inserting a record, suppose in incident table or a problem table or a change table. Okay, the user is inserting a record, so you can provide the role condition. If a particular user has this particular role, then and then only this business rule will run. Okay, so these are the filter conditions and role conditions. Next is actions sections. So in this, there is no need of coding here. You will set the values. Okay, so if when to run conditions returns true, means the conditions are true. Now it must perform some actions. So we will come here in actions tab and we will set the values of a particular column that is related to a table, and we can add a message also, and we can abort actions also if the conditions are true for a business rule to run. Okay, so these were the actions section. Okay, now if we click on advanced checkbox, then you are going to see advanced actions available, plus we see two fields available in when to run section: when and order. Okay, so when means when a particular business rule will run. So there are four types of business rule available: before, after, async and display. Okay, so it will tell when a particular operation is performing in the database. At that moment you have to run a business rule. So how we have to read this is like this: before insertion into the database of a table, or before inserting a record in a table, before updating a record in a table, before deleting a record in a table, or before querying a records in a table. Okay, similarly it will be for after insert a record in a table, means if you want to perform some activities after a record has been inserted into a database of a table. Okay, after updating a record in a table, after deleting a record, you have to perform some actions. After querying a records of a table, you have to perform some actions. Okay, so that's how you're going to read, and you're going to remember when to run and under which operation you have to run a particular business rule. Okay, and here we see async. For the async, we have similar: async insert, async update, async delete, async query, and we have display. For the display, we don't have those insertion operations, because display is going to run when a form is being loaded to the user or presented to the user. Okay, now we see the advanced sections here. Don't worry, we are going to see all of these things with the help of an practical demo. Okay, in the advanced section we see the conditions here. So this particular script is going to run when the condition is true. So if it is empty, then it always returns true, but if it is not empty, then the condition must be true to run the particular script. Okay, so here we write the script for business rule. Okay, now let's talk about the function of business rule. So as you can see, this is the particular function that is going to execute whenever a particular business rule condition is fulfilled. Okay, and if you don't want to set some values according to the actions sections, then you can use advanced to perform various activities with the help of script. Okay, now here you can see current and previous variable. These variables are going to store the object of a record. So the previous variable is going to store the object of a record that has been brought to you by the system. Okay, now if we are going to open the list of incidents, so we are going to duplicate this particular tab, and in this we are going to open the list of incidents, and we are going to open a particular incident. So let's quickly open an incident. Just click on all, and using the filter navigator shortcuts we are going to type incident dot list. It will give list of all the incidents. Okay, now if we open a particular incident record, this is the incident record, and whenever we are updating this incident, so these are the values that has been brought by the database to us. Okay, for this particular incident, these are the values like channel has email, state is on hold, impact is 1 high, urgency is 1 high, priority is 1 critical. So these are the values which has been brought us to by the database, and these values of the fields are the part of objects that has been held by the previous object. Okay, and the current variable is going to hold the current object of the record. Like if we change something like state set to resolved, okay, subcategory set to email, okay, now the previous value was subcategory was set to none and state was on hold, and that will be available in the previous object. Okay, and the new value once we update it is going to be available in the current object of a record. Okay, so the current value of a state will be resolved and subcategory value will be email, and that will be available in the current object of a record, and the previous value that was state was on hold and subcategory was none will be presented in previous object of a record. Okay, we are going to see this with the help of a practical demo. Okay, and we are going to use the current and previous object. So this was current and previous variables which stores the object of a record. So that was the functionality of fields of a form of business tool. So this was the end of the video, but there will be many more videos regarding business tool. Until then, you can subscribe the channel and you will get a notification of upcoming videos. If you like this video, do share the videos with others, and thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.